Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Don Daniel, founder of Pill Method International, a better way to eliminate debt. And for 17 years, we have been sharing these concepts with folks on how to read an amortization schedule, how the banks make their money through interest, and how you can cut your interest costs by 75% and therefore pay off all of your debt in an average of 7 years or so, and not have to sacrifice lifestyle. Man, that's mortgages, student loans, credit cards, car loans, everything. But by understanding understanding the different aspects of how amortization works, how the bank makes their money, it turns everything upside down. The things that we thought we should do are the very things we shouldn't do. And listen, if you want to know more about how to eliminate debt, well, we do have a book that we talk about every single show, and that book is is the Pill Method, a better way to eliminate debt. It out of 33 million titles, it is the only book on Amazon that begins to talk about how to understand and read an amortization schedule, how the bank uses timing and math to make money, and how we can use timing and math to cut our interest costs by 75%. Folks, stop focusing on interest rate when we should be focusing on interest cost and how to eliminate it. And it can be, oh my goodness. And we use artificial intelligence to do it. So if you want to know the month, day, and year you can be debt free, all you have to do is go to ice10k.com. Let me put it here on Clubhouse. Let me add it to the top of the room. All right, ice10k.com. And when you see that, just click on it and then click on Get a Savings and Earnings Report. All right, let's pin the link. ice10k.com. There it is. And there it is, folks. So, and if you're online today, you are actually seeing this. If you're on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, you're also seeing this right now. So, I hope that everything is going all right for everybody else. I hope you didn't have to deal with this flu thing that was going around. Did anybody else? Anybody of you know what I'm talking about? Did you get it? Did you have to deal with it? Put it in the chat if you did. Put it in the chat if you had to deal with this flu bug or whatever it was that was going around. I mean, I had the cough, I had the sore throat, I had the headache, I had the aches and pains. Oh man, and it lasted for almost 2 weeks. And I still have some, I'm still a little nasal right now. So anyway, we're not good. I'm so much better now, and I am so glad I'm not feeling like I was feeling. All right, but did anybody else have to go through that, or did you know anybody had to go through it? All right. So listen, if you have any questions about these interest rates that are happening right now, any questions about interest rates, then come on up to the stage. If you just want to sit back and learn something, that's quite all right too. But you here on Clubhouse, you can actually come to the stage. If you want to see what we're doing, then all you have to do is go to YouTube on another device, and you can actually see our examples we're going to be putting on the screen. So let me go ahead and start setting that up right now. All right, we're going to set up a new window here and put up our amortization schedule, and we are going to share this screen. There we go. And share. There it is. All right. So we're going to get ready to get started. All right. But please raise your hand, come to the stage, and listen from there. All right. So go ahead. I see Ian is in here. All right. Ian, we're going to ask you to come up to the stage and invite you to speak, but you don't have to say anything, Ian. You could just hang out here on the stage. And so you have a few people following you. Ian, how are you doing this morning?
Good, thanks, mate.
Hey, so tell the folks where you are tuning in from today on Clubhouse.
Gold Coast, Australia.
Gold Coast, Australia. So, Ian,
Yeah, not so sunny, it's raining.
why are you paying attention to the pill method all the way over there in Australia?
I don't think I've seen anything like it that I can recall with what you can do, and the end results aren't scary, but they're actually motivating to see where you can go from and to in a short period of time.
So, Ian, what do you do there in Australia? What do you do?
Mortgage broker.
A mortgage broker, okay? A mortgage
Yep.
broker, and you're sharing this information with your clients.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So, Ian, if you have any questions or any comments of anything, please be sure to chime on in. Will you, please?
Yep. No dramas.
All right, go ahead, man. Thank you for being here. So, everybody else here on stage in Clubhouse, go ahead and tell us where you're from. You can come up to the stage or just put it in the chat. Tell us where you're from and where you and um, just to say hello. Just say hello. Listen, man, I've got to get my brain back. I got to get my brain back on track here, so I'm going to need you guys to help pump me up a little bit. So go ahead and say hello. Give me some energy here so that I can go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to say hello in the chat. All right. So Stacy. All right. Hello from Birmingham, UK. Thank you for being here, Miss Stacy. Appreciate you. All right. And anybody else? Anybody else? Where you? Just tell us where you're listening from. If you're on Clubhouse, and if you want to see our examples, go to YouTube, search Pill Method, and click on the live feed so that you can actually see what we're talking about right now. Right now, we're just kind of inviting some other people in. So let's go ahead and keep inviting people in, folks. Invite, invite, invite. So go right down and invite some people into the room. All right. And let's see if we can build it up here. So you can click on that little icon there that has the person with a plus sign. You can click on it, and then you'll get something where you can just go right down the right side of the screen and click on invite, and it does all the work for you. So invite some folks in here. So, all right. Okay. So I've invited a few people and said hello to you. And now let me show you something about higher interest rates right now. Okay. Now, let me ask Ian something. Ian, what are you seeing as far as interest rates where you are in Australia? You can click that little microphone on the lower right-hand side, and it'll unmute your mic. And that way we can hear you. So, Ian, are you there? Can you speak to us? Can you tell us about the interest rates in Australia? It sounded like he was in the office. He's probably busy right now, but that's okay. All right, folks. So right now, the interest rates are continuing to climb. Let's go ahead and put something on the screen here I'm going to put a $350,000 mortgage at 7%. And we're going to break that down. Okay. 350,000. Okay. 350,000, 7%. And we're going to break that down. All right. I got one too many zeros in here. There we go. $350,000. Okay, so at $350,000 at 7%, here's how much interest the bank wants on this thing: $488,281.60. Now, here's our goal. Our goal is not to pay all of that interest. I have some folks here online right now tuning in. So, folks, whoever is tuning in online, go ahead and put it in the comment section where you're watching us from. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Let me show you. I'm going to go right up. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something I've never done before. Okay, so people can kind of understand what we're talking about. So let me do this and bring up another one. All right, so we're going to do 350,000 again. All right, we did it 7. Now we're going to do it at 8. I want to show you something. All right. And we're going to duplicate this again. We're going to do it at 9%. 9%. And we're doing one more at 10% interest. Just so that you can understand what's going on with interest rates and how you can manipulate interest costs, even at 7%, 8%, 9%, or 10%. Okay. Now, it wasn't too long ago that the interest rates were actually at 10%. And what we're going to talk about today is how, when a loan is amortized, what it does to the principal payment. Okay. Every time the interest rate goes up, the principal payment becomes smaller and the interest payment becomes larger. Okay. So if you can afford the payment, then you can manage how much interest you will actually pay on any loan if you can afford the payment. Let's look at the principal payment now on the 7% loan. Do you see it's $286, $288? Anytime you want to manage how much interest you can cancel, all right, all you have to do is figure out when you can give your money to the bank at a time they're not expecting it. They're expecting it on the payment date that they have established. Let's just say that on your loan, the day that we're establishing is the first of the month. They're expecting their money every first of the month. All right. Once you make your payment on the first of the month, any money they receive before the first of the next month goes straight to principal and cuts your interest cost. So we're just going to take a look at, on these examples, to make it easy, we're going to take a look at the minimum. We're going to be taking a look at the principal payments on each loan. Okay. We're going to be taking a look at the principal payments on each loan. So if we prepay $288.57 on this loan, we eliminate line 2 and eliminate this interest cost. That's at 7%. Now we're going to take a look at 8%. Okay. Look at that. Our principal payment is now only $236 at 8%. The principal payment is actually smaller. So if you can afford this payment, all you would have to come up with is $236.41 to eliminate line two and the interest on that. So if two $2,300 in interest you don't pay, doesn't really matter if the bank wants $2,300 if you're not paying it. Let's take a look at the interest you save on at 7% is $2,039. So no matter what the interest cost is on that line, you're not paying it if you prepay the principal payment. All right. So this is what it would be at 8%. Let's take a look at 9%. So now we're at 9%. Let's take a look at, wow, look at that. Look at that. The principal payment went down to $192. Now this only works if you can afford the payment. If you're in an interest rate. Now, a lot of real estate investors here in the US are using these interest rates to make to buy their investment properties. All right, and their renters are actually making the mortgage payments. So now we have $192.61 going to principal, and if we prepay that, we eliminate the interest on line two. That's at 9%. What if this real estate investor or homeowner, all right, I see you, Ian. Ian said he had to leave Clubhouse, but he's here. He's watching us on Facebook from Gold Coast, Australia. All right, Ian, thank you so much. Hey, Ian, tell me what are the interest rates looking like in Australia? Give me a range if you can. So, what are you getting for your clients? So that would be interesting to know. All right. So as he's putting that in here, so I need you to take a look at, folks, what it would be at 10%. Okay. Ian says average of 5 to 6% there in Australia. Here is a $350,000 mortgage. Okay. This could be a multifamily where they have 3, 4, 5 units. Okay. And they're all paying rent. And it more than covers the $3,071.50 in mortgage payments. Okay. So let's take a look at what would happen at even 10% interest. Watch this. $156.12 prepaid eliminates line two and almost over $2,900 in interest you don't have to pay. So, folks, if we start focusing on if we have to deal with higher interest rates, but learning how to manage these higher interest rates so that we don't have to pay all the interest that the bank is looking for. I don't know, for so many years, we have thought it was a foregone conclusion that we have to pay all of that interest when the bank is asking for it, even at the higher interest rate. So everybody's trying to get the lower interest rates. So, but we don't understand that this can actually be helpful if you know how to read it. So let's go back at this. Let's take a look at this 7%, at the 7% rate. I need you to see what would happen. Here's cumulative principal. Here is all the principal in 1 year that you would pay. Here's all the interest that you would eliminate. I'm sorry, all the interest that you would have to pay in 1 year at 7% on this loan. Okay, let's do the same for the 8% loan. 2,900, 27,000. Let's take a look at the 9% loan. 2,300, 31,000. Let's take a look at the 10% loan. 1,945 and $34,000. Now, Now you begin, if you look at it this way, you can start to visualize how you can attack these loans and save a ton of money. All right. And get rid of. Now, let's take a look at what our goal is. Our goal is if we have 360 payments on a loan, we want to get to 0 payments. How do we knock out as many payments as we can, as cheaply as we can? I want to show you something that if you had the lower interest rate, okay, and you wanted to take a look at the cumulative principal for 1 year on this mortgage, $3,555.36. If you prepay the $3,055.36, you are paid down to here in 1 year, in 1 month instead of 1 year. Okay, that's at 7%. You would prepay the 3,000 if you had it. Now watch this. At 8%, you could prepay $2,900 and get down to line 12. At 9% is $2,300 to get to line 12. You see how the numbers are going down? At 10%, all you need to do is come up with $1,945.55, and you can eliminate 12 mortgage payments just like that. Make your regular mortgage payment and then add the rest of the money to come up with a cumulative principal of $1,945.55, and you're paid down to line 12 on your amortization schedule in just 1 month. The higher the interest rate, if you can afford the payment, can actually work for you once you learn how to read this. Does this make sense to anybody? Does this make sense to you guys? Do you have any questions about this? All right. Because what we're going to do now is put up some other examples of how the higher interest rates can actually work for you. All right. And I want to show you something that we did a little while ago. All right. Let me get rid of this, and this. Let me show you something here. And this is at a full 18%. Let me find my example of $200,000 at 18%. So let me do a quick search. 18%. Okay, there it is. Okay, and cancel that. All right, let me bring this over. I need you to take a look at this. Okay, here is $200,000 at 18%. $200,000 at 18%. With our system, instead of paying $884,000 in interest, okay, $884,974 in interest, we're showing a client how to pay only $172,021 in interest, saving over $700,000 in interest, meaning that their effective interest rate is like 4.67. Once you know what to do, you can take 18% interest and make it perform like it was 4.67% interest. Okay? All right. So remember, the higher the interest rate could mean a low interest cost overall. Okay? So if the bank was looking for 884,000, but they only get 172,000, that's a discount of over 81%. A high interest rate could mean a low interest cost. Here's the interest cost, 172,000. That's what you can end up paying if you know what to do. So it doesn't matter what the bank is looking for. It doesn't matter how you start. It matters how you finish. What is the bank looking for? What kind of position can you put yourself in to pay a lot less interest? Good morning, Steve. How are you doing this morning? All right. So, anybody got any questions or any comments about what you're seeing here today? High interest rates can mean low interest cost. You know, let me show you something. Let me show you something else that could be very interesting. I'm going to bring up, let me bring up, um, let's go ahead and close this screen here. Um, Kurt, we're going to close it out so I can make some changes in here. Okay, we're going to close this screen out. So there we go. All right. And what I'm going to do is bring this up instead. But while we're doing that, folks, I want to encourage you that if you haven't gotten one already, go ahead and get a savings and earnings report. So, Ian, did you realize that we can do this for your clients? They can get a savings and earnings report as well, and know the month, day, and year they can be debt free, even in Australia, and how much interest they could save. So, folks, how do you do that? Go to ice10k.com and click on Get a Savings and Earnings Report. It is simple as that. And you can know exactly how much interest you could save. And so, Ian says he's working on that right now. Okay. All right. So, Ian, do yourself a favor and use that same card and sign up as an affiliate. Okay. Sign up as an affiliate. And each person that becomes a client, we'll send you a little something. We'll start out at 300 US, and inside 1 month, it can grow to as much as $3,000 a month in referral fees. Okay, 3,000 US. Okay, all right. So let me pull this up and let's play around with our demo. Okay, I want to play around with the demo. And I thought about this, but this is the first time we've done this particular demonstration, all right, live on stage. So we're going to reset the account. Now, if you're here in Clubhouse and you want to see this, please go to YouTube so that you can see this example. This is the actual AI system, the OCC, the Opportunity Cost Calculator, that we use, that does all of the math, that tells you whatever loan you have, whatever interest rate you have, you can manage that debt and kill a lot of interest. So we're going to take a look and see if you had about the same amount of money left over each month, okay? Left over each month, how you can manage the debt. And let's see what happens with this. Okay, this is the first time I've done this. So let's take a look at, we're going to reset this account. And we're going to take a look at how much interest a particular family has remaining in our program. Okay. So David says, ha, good day. David. David has a question here. All right. David says, I'm on year 18 of my mortgage payment. Won't it be tougher now to pay off the mortgage faster, seeing that I missed the majority of the early part of the mortgage? David, I never know. That's why it's important to do a savings and earnings report and then see how it all works out. So whatever interest you have left, you have 12 years worth of interest left. So the question then becomes, do you want to pay all 12 years worth of interest, or do you want to pay less than that? That's the question. So whatever the situation is, you have a certain amount of interest left to pay. So why, even if you only have 12 years worth of interest left, why continue to give it to them if you don't have to? And especially, David, here's my next question for you. All right. Here's my next question for you, David. He's watching us from YouTube. Are you in your forever home? Are you in your forever home? Or do you plan to get another home after this? Okay. We have a few more people coming in. All right. So, Latanya, thank you for being here. I see you in there, Miss Constance Armstrong. I see you, Ann. I see you, Robbie, Diane. I see you. Let's see, Mr. Johnson. I see you in here. All right. So, Mitch. All right. So, folks, if you want to see what we're doing, go to YouTube, search P.I.L.L method. You can see these examples. So let's see what David has to say. All right. But anyway, folks, if you are he's saying, I only have 12 years left on my mortgage. Doesn't make sense to use the P.I.L.L method. So, they say, don't answer a question with a question, but I've got to ask this question. When is the best time to start saving money? When is the best time to start saving money? Okay. So David says, I believe that I'm in my forever home, but that may change as time goes by. Exactly. So why continue to give the bank 100% of the interest you have left to pay? There's no reason for that. So you can always save interest. So let's not give them all that interest. Let's do a savings and earnings report, and let's figure out how much you can actually save. All right, so let's take a look here. I need to change one of these windows. What we're taking a look at here for John and Rebecca Jones is that they have $227,000 that they owe right now. David says, behold, now is the time. 227,000. All right. The amount of interest by using our program, I can click on here and show you how much interest they will not pay. Interest remaining is $56,796. $56,796. All right. Now, they also have in their budget $1,300 in unitemized budget, $1,300 in unitemized spending, which means they have $1,300 in their budget that they could spend practically any way they choose. All right. If they didn't spend that money, that means that they could actually get out of debt cheaper and faster. Let me show you. Right now, they can get out of debt and only pay $56,796 and save $179,346 in interest they don't have to pay. So let us make a quick change here. Let's say, you know what? Let's not spend $1,300. Let's spend only $1,000 a month. Okay, so we're going to save that, and we go from 56,000 down to 50,000 just by spending $300 less a month on stuff. They can spend. They would only have to spend $50,000 in interest. All right, to get out of debt. That is good to know. That's $6,000 less to get out of debt. So I'm going to put this back the way it was. We're going to give them back that $300. Okay. And we're going to do a little experimenting here. Okay. Now, we have about $1,300 left over every month. So my job here is we're going to raise the interest rate. I'm going to show you some things. We're going to raise the interest rate. But when I raise the interest rate, it's going to increase the mortgage payment and it's going to take away from this discretionary. It's going to lower it. So anytime you lower the discretionary, you pay more interest. That's just bottom line. So what we're going to do is raise the interest rate, but we're going to keep the principal, the average discretionary about the same, and see if there is any big difference in how much interest they have left to pay. Let's put some of our theories to the test. All right, so I'm going to go in here to accounts. Right now, we are at 6% interest. I'm going to edit this. I'm going to change the interest payment to 7%. Okay. When I change the rate to 7%, all right, now we need a new, I need to know what my new mortgage payment is going to be. So we need to pull up Brett Whistle over here and a new thing here. And we have $200,000. We put in 7%. What is our new payment? Our new payment is $1,330.60. $1,330.60. So we go back to the program and change our payment to 1330.60. 1330.60, I believe. Let me recheck that. Yeah, 1330.60. Okay. So, and we save that. Okay, that's our new mortgage payment. So that is going to decrease our discretionary by let me see. We have let me see here. Let me just do the math on the screen. And we had 1199.10 as our mortgage payment. 1199.10 as our mortgage payment, and our new mortgage payment is 1330.60. Okay, we need to add $131. We need $131.50 more in our budget so that we can compare apples with apples. Okay, $131.50. So let's do that. $131.50. All right, $131.50. Let's see what happens when we give ourselves that. All right, discretionary. All right, $131.50. Okay, 13. Okay, I'm doing $1,300. All right, 131.50. Okay, minus 131.5. Okay, 1668.50. Okay, so now we're going to change this to $1,168. Okay, $1,168.50. Okay, and then we'll save that. All right, that gives us back to our 1331, and we're saving 217,000, but the interest remaining does go up to 65,000. Okay, but even though we are still having a higher interest rate, we can still save a significant amount of money. All right, and save a significant amount of money. So let me show you. There is a reason for choosing a higher interest rate if you have certain situations. Now, I had a client who had a a job that gave them bonuses. All right, about 20K, $20,000 a quarter. Okay, so at a higher interest rate, which means they had a lower principal payment. Okay, the principal payment on this loan is $163, $164, $165 instead of starting out at 1199.10 and then going to 200, then 201, then 202. So we have a bit of a difference here. So if I have a job that pays me a bonus, so if I have a bonus of, let's say, $20,000, which loan do I want? Okay, so John and Rebecca Jones have let me do this. Let me duplicate this tab here. All right. John and Rebecca Jones have a 7% mortgage. Okay. They also had a choice of getting the 6% mortgage, which gave them this. All right. Now, if John and Rebecca Jones, if one of them has a job that pays them $20,000 bonus a quarter, what would happen if they had, let's take a look at this. Let me take a look at this. $20,000 at 6%, and I have a bonus. All right. Let's say I have a bonus and I could apply that bonus to cumulative principal. Look what happens at $20,000. $20,000 takes off 82 payments and saves $77,000 in interest. Okay. That's if I have a $20,000 bonus. Okay. But what if I said, you know what? If I had the 7% loan, I think that $20,000 bonus might do more work for me. Okay. Because I have a smaller principal payment. So let's go. So we're here at 82 payments knocked off. What would happen at 7% for $20,000? Let's scroll down. $20,000 knocked off 82 payments. $20,000 knocks off 93 payments. 93 payments versus 82 payments. Okay? 82 payments or 93 payments. Wow. Folks, that's 11 months more because I chose a higher interest rate because I have a situation where you're going to pay more interest in most cases at higher interest rates, but you could still get low interest cost at higher interest rates. What if you have here's another situation where you could actually choose a higher interest rate that would actually end up saving you more time and more money if you have a situation where you have a bonus situation. Good morning, Horace Jennings. How are you doing? Coming from Virginia. So I see Daphne, I see Latoya's in here. So folks, is this making sense to you? How we can manipulate higher interest rates in certain situations where you could actually choose a higher interest rate, especially in a bonus situation where you could take more advantage of the lower principal payments. A whole point higher. But with $20,000 applied to that loan, knocks off over almost a year more, 11 months more applied at the right time. This is the first time I've actually shown how an higher interest rate could actually save you even more money than a lower interest rate in certain situations. So Ian Petley's got a question here. It says, so what happens if you receive, let's say, 100K every 6 months? Okay. Well, the thing is, Ian, when number one, you could apply the whole 100K. Here's a guy with my first name. Hey, Don, listen, your name is so easy to remember. All right. So thank you for being here. So Ian says, what happens if you had 100,000 every 6 months? Number one, Ian, we would not apply the whole $100,000. Okay. Because we would start to violate the law of diminished return. Okay. You would try to, what our program would want to do is, working with us, you would try to figure out how much of that money do I want to apply to principal on my mortgage, and how much do I want to invest somewhere else, okay, to make more money. But for the sake of argument, let's just say what would happen if we applied the whole hundred, if we applied the whole 100,000. Okay. Yeah. What's the maximum benefit? That's the question. That would be the question. What would be the maximum benefit of the money? But let's just say we have the 7% loan. Okay. We've got the 7% loan, we got the 6% loan, and we're going to apply $100,000 to the principal, $100,000 to the principal all at one time. We knock off 252 payments at 6%. 252 payments we would eliminate immediately and save over $200,000 in interest by applying $100,000. Okay. At the 7% mortgage rate, okay, if we applied 100,000, we knock off 261 payments. 261 payments versus 252 payments. 261 payments. So at the higher interest rate, when you apply money to principal, you actually do more work in eliminating payments than if you had the lower interest rates, if you had large sums to apply. So in fact, this actually happened to me not too long ago when I was talking to a person who manages money for a living. When they learned about my program, this is how I came up with this example, is they applied for a lower rate. They applied for a mortgage. They got a lower rate and asked for an increased rate because of the bonuses they received. Folks, once you understand how an amortization schedule works, literally, at times, ask for a higher interest rate instead of getting the lower interest rate in certain situations, especially if you have bonus money coming in. Did you ever think about that? Did anybody ever show that to you? Anybody ever explain that to you before? Understanding interest cancellation is the key to managing your debt. Taking care of understanding interest cost versus interest rate, you can save a ton of money, get your equity much cheaper, and then invest in your future with the interest saved. All right, so folks, continue to invite some more people in here. If you're new to the room and you want to see, hey, Miss Daphne, she says she has raised her hand. Listen, if you are if you're new to the room and you want to see these examples, go to YouTube, search for the P.I.L.L method, and then click on our live broadcast, and you can see these examples. Miss Daphne, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Excellent, excellent. Do you have a question or comment this morning?
I have a question, and thank you so much for allowing me to come up to speak too. Um, I was wanting to know, you were saying, and you may have answered it, but I just came in, so I wanted to know that what happens if you don't have, some extra money. You just have your regular income that you're making every month, and you don't have bonuses, you don't have tax refunds or anything like that. So what
Okay.
happens then with this method?
Okay, what happens with this method is this. Um, let me ask some questions first. Can I do that?
Sure.
Okay, so does this person have a mortgage?
Yes.
Okay. Can this person pay their bills every month with their income?
Yes.
Okay. Do you realize that means they do have money left over? Here's one thing that I've
Um,
never noticed. One thing, I've been
okay.
doing this for years. If a person makes, let's say they make $5,000 a month, I've never seen it where to pay their bills, it costs them exactly $5,000 a month every month. Do you see where I'm going here?
Yes, I do.
Okay. They always have something left over. If they don't, it's either they have something left over or they're spending more than they make. It's either one or the other. But I've never seen it where a person makes 5,000 or 6,000 or 7,000 and they spend exactly to the penny that amount of money just to pay bills. So let's get that part out of the way. So let's just say that, for example, they make X amount of dollars, and if they just pay the minimums on the bills, Miss Daphne, give me an example of how much money could be left over after they pay all the bills. And you just give me a number to work with, because it doesn't.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
Are we talking about after bills, and we're talking about after groceries and all
And,
incidentals
yeah, that's a bill.
for all of it?
Yeah, all of that.
Okay.
hmm
Okay. Maybe about $150.
$150. So to you, if you have a mortgage, let's say of $200, $200,000, if you have $150 left over, then that won't do very much to that mortgage, correct?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Yes.
Yeah, but let me show you something, okay?
Okay.
All right. So let me put this on the screen. Can you actually see my screen right now on YouTube?
Let me go there because I'm not there yet.
All right, so yeah, do it on a different, like an iPad or another phone or your computer or something, okay?
Okay.
Because you want to see this, because you asked the question. All right, folks, we're going to put a $200,000. Miss Daphne asked a question. We're going to put a $200,000 mortgage on here at 6%. And the payment is $1,199.10. And she says, well, what if you don't have bonuses? What if you don't have a whole lot of money to work with? All right. We're going to see how we can work with this thing. So, Miss Daphne, let me know when you have it up and you can see what we're talking about. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do a quick reset.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite.
All right. Let's do a quick reset. You're in the P.I.L.L Method Club, everyone. And um, what happened here? Um, we're not letting people join the club anymore. So that things change um, about joining the club. Let me see if we can still join the club. But anyway, you're in the P.I.L.L Method Club, and today we're talking about high interest rates can mean low interest cost. Okay, and if you want to do, I'm getting ready to do an example from Miss Daphne. But if you want to know the month, day, and year you could be debt free, go ahead and click the link that you see at the top here and find out how you can get a savings and earnings report. Know the month, day, and year you could be debt free and how much interest you could save. And out of the interest savings, we get a small percentage of the interest savings that you're no longer paying the bank that pays for your lifetime program. All right. So, Miss Daphne, sounds like you're ready.
I'm ready. Yes.
All right. So do you see what I have on the screen here? I have $200,000 mortgage at 6%. Okay. And have you ever seen one of my examples before?
Not a little bit, but not
Okay.
not really. No.
All right. So let's take a look at, I'm going to give some basic information first, and then we're going to handle your question. All right. So out of that $1199.10, only $199.10 goes to principal the first month. Look at all that money going to interest. Isn't that ridiculous?
Yes, it is.
$1,000 goes to, so we make our first payment here. Okay. And then the second month, $200.10 goes to principal and $999 goes to interest. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So let's say we're making a payment in January. All right. I made my January payment. I don't owe the bank any more money in January. My February principal payment is how much money, Ms. Daphne?
Your February interest payment.
No, principal payment.
Principal is $210.
Yep, $200.10. That's how much goes to the money that I owe. The rest of that money goes to interest. Okay. So my February principal payment is $200.10. Now remember, we're in January. Okay. Do I have to wait till February to give the bank that $200.10?
No.
If I had it, could I give it to them early?
Yes, it could, definitely.
All right. So if I did, all of this money goes to principal. I'm paid down to line 2 already in January. Do you see that? My next mortgage payment then is based on this number, which gives me my next mortgage payment on line 3. So I go from line 1 to line 3. I knock out line 2 with only $200.10, not the $1,200 the bank is looking for. What happens to this $999 in interest?
It goes away.
It goes away. So I get paid down to here for only $200. Okay. So if I can save nearly $1,000 with $200 prepaid, what if I only had half that? What if I only had $100? Now, $100 doesn't do much over here, but how much interest would that save me? About?
Originality is
excuse me.
When a cook's
Ask your question one more time.
Okay. If I could save almost $1,000 with $200 prepaid, how much interest would $100 save me?
500.
Exactly. It's not how much money you can throw at this thing that matters. It's how much interest you could save with the money that you have available. So even a person with $150 left over can save a ton of interest on a loan like this. Okay. So in let's say we have 150. Okay. We have a month, so that in 2 months, that's what, $300? In 4 months, that's about $600. Okay. So $600. So if I do this, I got about $600 now. That's $200.10,
Mm-hmm.
201.10, and 202.10. That's $603.30.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've saved up $600.30,
Mm-hmm.
how many months can I knock off now with my $600?
3.
How much interest can I save if I round these numbers up?
1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2,
No, you
3.
don't have to. It's,
33.
yeah, no, that's about
Yeah.
$3,000, right?
Yeah.
About $3,000.
Yeah.
So
30. Yeah.
yeah, so I have about $3,000 in interest I just saved, but all I have left over is $150 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But applied correctly, I can save about $3,000 in interest on this loan that I never have to pay and knock off 3 mortgage payments I never have to make.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
Yeah, that's phenomenal.
You don't need much money. You just need to know when to apply it. Now, do we try to apply it every single month? No. We try to apply it when it's going to do us the most good.
Okay.
How much interest I can save per dollar. All right. So we want to keep our program tells you when to make the mortgage payment. No, I'm sorry. You make your regular mortgage payment and then you save up what's left over after paying all the bills in your savings account. And then the program tells you when to tap the savings account. Okay. You got a little background noise there, Miss Daphne.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. All right. There you go. All right. So now that you're doing that, so if you will go ahead and put that money in savings, the program says, you've reached the amount of money that you need to have in savings. Let's tap some of that money and apply it to the principal of this mortgage so we can knock off payments and knock off interest so that you can eventually get to the point where getting in that cycle of savings and applying to principal, saving it up and applying it to principal, saving it up and applying it to principal, you can eventually get to the point where you can knock off about 20 years off your mortgage or more. Miss Daphne, what do you think?
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Yeah.
Thank you for asking that question. Do you have any other questions for us?
No, other than well, I know this is probably an offline question.
Yeah.
Information on how much the app costs and all that kind of great stuff.
Well, listen, right now you're paying a lot of interest. Okay. So let me show you something here. Let me pull this over. All right. To give you an example, this client just making their mortgage payment without knowing anything about the P.I.L.L method is going to pay the bank $179,346 they don't need to pay the bank. Which do you think they're more concerned about? What I charge or how much I can save them?
Of course, how much you can save them.
Okay. And this was money they were going to pay anyway, correct? So if I charge a small percentage of the $179,000 that they save, but they get to keep the rest, whose money am I really getting? Am I getting their money or I'm getting the money that the bank thought they were going to get?
You're getting the bank's money.
Exactly.
But it's my money, but
yeah.
But you know, it's still my money.
Yep. It was money you were going to pay the bank anyway, right?
Right.
Exactly. So it's not more money. It's the same money so that you can keep all this money you don't have to give them.
So you're saying,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, let me clarify.
Yes.
If you don't mind. So you're saying, as I begin to save on interest, you take a percentage from that savings for the program, for the method program.
That's not what I'm saying at all. What I am saying is this. Okay. Here's what I'm saying. As you're saving thousands of dollars, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna calculate what our fee is going to be based on this.
Okay.
We get our fee up front.
Okay. So you know at the beginning of this program
Yes,
how much money I'm going to save, how much interest I'm going to save.
exactly.
Okay, got you.
All right.
Mhm.
Even before we start.
Mhm.
And I'm going to run through 3 months for you and show you something here using this
Okay.
program. So we're going to just, so instead of clicking on each thing that we pay each month, okay? All
Mhm.
right. I'm going to reset this account. All right. And reset it to here. Reset everything. So I'm going to reset it, and then we're going to go through 3 months, all right, very quickly. All right. Instead of clicking on each thing and saying, okay, he got paid the mortgage. So usually when you get paid, you just have to tell the program and click on each thing. But we're going to click the entire month. Okay. So we're going to, so I need you to watch the actual amount of interest that's saved here, right here. Okay. All right. So now we're going to execute multiple actions and do the entire month of February. And now February is done. We're going to do the entire month of March. Okay. Select the entire month, execute multiple actions. And when March is done, we've actually saved $109 in interest. But then in April, the program says pay off the credit card and put $1,152.29 on the mortgage principal. So we're going to take care of this, and only we're going to execute all of these down to here. All right. So we're going to execute that amount, and we're going to click on multiples. We just need to change a couple of dates here to today's date. The 7th. And when we execute that, we see that we've saved over $7,377 already just in 3 months. Okay. Most people save more interest in the first 3 months to more than pay for our program. The rest of this $179,000 is theirs. What do you think, Ms. Daphne?
I think it's great. Great.
Yeah. And that's just on this mortgage. You know, our program is a lifetime program. You pay for it once and you can use it on this mortgage and the next one and the next one and the next one. I've got people who have paying off 5 houses on this program. They've only paid us once. All the interest that they've ever saved is all theirs now. So, Miss Daphne, how'd you find out about us?
Just going through Clubhouse.
Okay. All right. So, are you familiar with our book?
I'm not. No.
Okay. So we'll talk about that as well. You can go ahead. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and Google P.I.L.L method as soon as you can. Google P.I.L.L method as soon as you can. And then you're going to see. All right. So Horace says simply awesome. All right. Thank you, Horace. All right. Google P.I.L.L method. And then you can see how you can find out more about us. You see that we have a YouTube channel. We have a presence on several social media platforms. And we have a best-selling book on Amazon. If you go to ice10k.com, that's the link right above your head, you can get a savings and earnings report by clicking on that button. You could also get our book. All right. There you go. There you go, Miss Daphne. Any other questions or comments?
No, I think you answered them pretty good. Thank you so much. I appreciate you doing that.
Anytime you want to come and ask questions, you're more than welcome.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Ian Pedley's got a question all the way from Australia here. He says, is there a limit to the number of mortgages it can cope with? You mean the opportunity cost calculator? No, there's no limit. All right. We have different versions. We have a version where you can only put one mortgage in. We have a version where you can put 3 mortgages in. We have a version where you can put 10 mortgages in. We have a version where you can put 12, 15, 20, 30 mortgages in. It does not matter. Okay. So this is another way we structure pricing depending on how many mortgages we're handling for a particular client at one time. All right. So thank you for asking that question. There's no limit to the number of mortgages we can put into this program. All right. But a person who has the same program that can handle 1 mortgage, that program cannot handle 10. That's a separate program. Okay. Does that make sense? All right. Thank you, Ian, for asking that question. Does anybody else have any questions? Any other questions about this? Let's see. Okay. Constance Armstrong says, where's the screen? So, Constance, I'm sorry if I didn't tell you before, but it's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. So you want to go to YouTube so that you can see that. All right. Let me see. Steve Mack says he's listening while cleaning. All right. Good. Anne Marie says, good morning from Florida. Can't talk right now. Lila Wilkins says, good morning from New Jersey. Letitia Cooper, good morning from Georgia. All right. Let's see. Mimi, listening. All right. Listening to At Pill Method with Daphne Travis. Okay, Mimi, I hear you. I see you. All right, everybody. Listen, folks, I don't want to overdo it today. I don't want to overdo it today. And when you start feeling better, the worst thing you can do is push it too soon and then relapse and get sick again. Has that ever happened to anybody? Excuse me. Has that ever happened? All right. Daphne says, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. But I will answer a few more questions for you if you have some questions today based on what we have. All right. So do you have any more? Does anybody have any questions? Put it in the chat, raise your hand, come up to the stage, ask a question, make a comment. All right. If you have anything else, Chris Haywood, tuning all the way in, watching us on YouTube. Thanks for the info from New Mexico. All right, Chris, we don't have a whole bunch of people visiting us from New Mexico. Chris, do me a favor. Will you share this with your family and friends in New Mexico? All right, just go ahead and share. Listen, this is something that's valuable information. And I have a whole bunch of information there on YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Comment on some of the videos, even like some of the videos, and then take that link and share it with your family and friends. Horace says, get some rest, Don. We need you at 100%. Okay. So folks, here's what's going to happen. All right. Normally we would be here on Sunday. All right. And it's going to be Easter Sunday. So I'm going to put up a replay for Easter Sunday. All right. So you guys can go ahead and celebrate the holiday, and we'll put up a replay for Easter Sunday. That will give me one more day of rest. And then we will come back on next Wednesday. So have I hope you're having a great Good Friday. And so tomorrow, a lot of my folks will be going to church. I don't know if I'll be going to church tomorrow, because I don't want to take my I don't want to take my cough to church. I'm in my office all by myself today, so I'm not infecting anybody, just in case I am still contagious. So, try to be responsible as much as we can, even in these days. But I didn't want to go one more day and not go live and offer some fresh content. I want to listen. It is very important to me. It's very important to me that people understand that for 86 years, this information has been kept from us. It's not being taught in schools. It's not being taught at universities. It's not being taught in business schools. If you're a real estate agent, it's not taught in your classes. If you're a loan officer, it's not taught in your classes, so that when you get your license to sell mortgages, it's not taught there either. It is our hope that anybody who wants to know can know these nuggets, this information about how mortgages actually work. And in many cases, it's the exact opposite of how you have been taught. Ian Pedley says he's been doing mortgages for years and he wasn't taught this either. All right. It's not just in the US, folks, it's worldwide. It's worldwide. When it comes right down to it, there are very few people at the top controlling money worldwide. And what they do, folks, is they lend out money to make more money based on interest and amortization. But the basics of amortization, the formula of amortization, if you want to see this, I'm going to put the formula on the screen. This is so important. This is why even, hold on, because I can't type and talk. Amortization formula. We're putting that on the screen right now. Okay. Amortization formula is on the screen right now. This thing is started, a guy named Fibonacci, okay, developed this formula to amortize loans, meaning here's how you can borrow money, pay it back over time, and the person or entity that loaned you the money will be able to collect interest payments every time you make a payment. Okay? It will give you a payment you can afford, but the interest cost is too high on this. And we have accepted it since 1934. Now, this has been around since the 1600s, but it wasn't adopted worldwide until after 1934. 89 years old this year. And there's something about the fact that this is the formula that's used in mortgages, credit cards, car loans, personal loans, any loan that you have right now. This is the basic formula that's used to figure out how much interest you're going to pay. But it's not being taught. Because the only way that banks can continue to make the kind of money that they're making using this formula is that you never learn how it works. You can't learn. Once you learn how it works, you will not want to pay interest like this ever again, and you don't have to. You can literally borrow money at 75 or 80% off, and you don't have to pay a 30-year mortgage in 30 years. You can pay it off in about 5 to 7. Churches with mortgages can pay off in about 5 to 7 years without extra giving from the members. Individuals with homes can pay it off. Not only just the mortgage, but everything that you have. That's your student loans, that's your credit cards, that's your car loan, and your mortgage in about 7 years. Real estate investors, once you understand this, you can pay off you can gain equity 5 to 7 times faster. That means you can cash out refi 7 to 10 and sometimes as much as 15 years sooner than normal because you understand interest cancellation. And if you would take this formula, plug it into a computer program that is designed to tell you exactly what to do, when to do it, how much money to move, what month to do it in, what day of the month to do it on, and which loan to attack, you can save massive amounts of interest. If you want to see what we're talking about, go to YouTube and look right now. Just search for P.I.L.L method on YouTube and click on the live event. So I'm going to change this to one more thing and then we're going to go. Okay, because we're coming up on an hour and a half. And let's see. Let me see here. I'm going to reset this to 10 mortgages. And I want to show you something here. Multiple properties. That's 10 mortgages and a HELOC. All right. I'm resetting this program to 10 mortgages and a HELOC. That's 11 mortgages altogether. All right. Car loan. All right. And we're going to see here. All right. Interest remaining 1,600,000. Here's the interest that the bank will not receive, $1,472,000. Okay. The bank is not going to get that. This is what it's going to take to get out of debt. Okay. And here's the program. Here's the program doing its thing, telling this client when to put money on a particular mortgage. And it's telling out of all the mortgages it has, it says, put it on number 9, extra money on mortgage 9, not mortgage 6, not mortgage number 8, not mortgage number 3, not 2, not 4, not 1, not 5. Okay. Not, but put the more money on mortgage number 9. By putting extra money on mortgage number 9, I want you to see something. By putting $4,121.74 on mortgage number 9, let's make this a little bigger. $47,890.15. That's how much interest they're not going to pay by prepaying $4,121.74. Do you know how important this is to know exactly how much money to put on out of your savings and take the guesswork out of it? The reason why we're putting on $4,121.74 is that if you put any less money on, the amount of money you save per dollar goes down. Here's what is important when applying a certain amount of money at a certain time. Here's what's most important. I'm going to break it down for you right now. $47,000 in interest saved. $47,890.15. This is the amount of money that we applied. Why did the program pick $4,121.74, not 75 cents? How about $4,130? Just round it up. Okay. How about $4,500? How about not even $4,100, just $4,000 even? Why did the program pick this exact number out of the money that this particular real estate investor had available? Because of this. We're going to take the 47,890.15 and divide it by the amount of money applied to principal. Okay, that's divided by $4,121.74 equals $11.6189, which means if we take a look at this and we round that up, okay, to the next hundred, that means $11.62. $11.62. If we apply any other amount at this particular time, this amount of money goes down. This is the optimum amount of money we can save per dollar at this time. This is called optimization, financial optimization, getting the biggest bang for your buck. Some people call it critical point analysis. What is the least amount you can pay? This is the least amount that this person could pay at this time to get the maximum amount of savings and interest per dollar, which is $11.62. $11.62 per dollar applied. Just think about it. I put $1 on this mortgage. It makes it impossible for the bank to charge $11.62 in interest for every dollar. You can do something different, right? And only save $11. You can do something different and only save $9.99, which is still fantastic, but it's not $11.62. If you even put more money on, this number goes down. And I'm going to show you this in the last 2 seconds, in the last 2 minutes. And we've got 11.618. 11.618. I'm going to show you the math here. So instead of 4,100, there's more money in the bank here. Let's go to $4,500 because we can. Watch what happens when the program recalculates from 47,890. We now go to $52,038.41. But now we have to divide the 4,500 into the 52,000. Okay? So remember, here is our old number, 11.618. So now let's take the 52,000 okay, 52. Okay, wait a second. Did it wrong. Delete. Okay. $52,038.41. And we're going to divide it by $4,500. Divided by 45. All right, there we are. Now we're down to $11.564. $11.56. This is why you need a calculator, an opportunity cost calculator, to make sure
I think this is where we're gonna have to. I think this is where we're gonna have to call it, Don. We're reaching that point where we definitely do not want you to relapse. You're starting to feel a little better. It might be time to go, but we know that there's some. Yeah. Even Ian Bedley says it in the comments. He says, "Time for bed, Don. It's time for bed. It's time for bed." But we know there was some critical information that you were sharing, and I just want to say to everybody that's out there, man, this is what the kind of commitment Don has for the content is wanting to make sure that people are able to interact with it, to interface with it, to be able to uh, get their questions answered, but also to kind of share it in new ways. Strategic Secret says, "Get some rest, brother." Good content here, but get some rest, man. I think it's okay. One of the things I love about live content is that you can't fake this stuff, man. I mean, you can't fake a coughing fit, right? So, and I think what it does, it allows people to really realize that we're real human beings as well, and we are dealing with real life situations and things as well. And so, Don is actually heading off to get some water right now, kind of settle himself. We're going to go ahead and close things out. We want to make sure you guys get a chance to check out the book, one of the number one best-selling books on Amazon. Definitely kind of your starting point. You can see right there on screen, and hopefully it's still there on Clubhouse, that you have the ice10k.com digital business card. That's where you can go and see a lot of Don's links and different things, information relevant to what he shares here on a regular basis in terms of his content. And then if you get that book, man, make sure you check out the show and maybe even consider becoming an affiliate. There's so many different things that you can do. Don't keep this information to yourself is really the point. It's one of the reasons why I'm working with Don, is because I'm a client as well, and we want to make sure that if this information gets out there as far and as wide as possible. But the first step, and we had somebody come through and ask some really good questions today. I hope that all of you took note of some of those questions. But the first step is, of course, getting that savings and earnings report. That's where it all begins. That's where the magic happens. Seeing the examples is great, but seeing your own numbers on the page, right, in black and white, and seeing that date that says when you can be debt free, right? When you can have it all paid off. And then for me, it's about 6 years, and we're trying to whittle that number down. Mortgage, home loans, credit cards, student loans, literally everything. And then once that's done, that's when the real fun starts. I mean, if you're going to continue working with Don and his team, the real fun starts after you pay it off, because that's when you can start building your own bank. Yeah. Somebody's hearing me, but we don't want to get the conversation started again. But the idea is you want to start with a savings and earnings report. So we have that on the screen for you right now. Same digital business card is going to do it for you. ice10k.com. You head over there, you can find that information, and you can be up and running, ready to go. And then lastly, as we said, if you already have your savings and earnings report, maybe you're already a client, or this is not something that you can take advantage of right now because you're not a homeowner, but you want your friends, family, loved ones, colleagues, acquaintances, people that are in your sphere of influence to know about this. Consider sharing. Consider becoming an affiliate. Consider signing some people up, because that is another way that you can earn some money. Don is so generous in terms of his affiliate program, so definitely want to make sure you guys get a chance to see that as well. Look, we're going to go ahead and close things out. Don usually ends with a word from Eric Thomas. Eric Thomas is the #1 motivational speaker in the world, somebody that I have followed from his YouTube days when he used to do that morning motivation. For years he did that, and now he literally sits on panels and stages world over and is a household name. But Eric Thomas, when he was seeking to pay off his mortgage, he used the P.I.L.L method. The P.I.L.L method. Yes, the same P.I.L.L method that you're looking at right now. And so Don is back, it looks like. I don't want to cut him off, but I think he's just waving to say goodbye to everybody. But I definitely want to greet you guys and share with you some of the details that I know he usually closes out with, but also wanting to make sure you know Sunday we are going to have a replay. That is a note that I'm making for myself as well, since I produced the show. So I'm making that note. But Sunday, we're going to have a replay. And on Wednesday, we will be back. Wednesday, we will be back. And we are excited to have some more live content. But listen, the replay content is just as potent, just as powerful. And this is the reason why, we make sure that people can share those with those who may be interested, those who, we want to be in the affiliate program. Don, you want to say anything before we play the clip for Eric Thomas?
Thank you, everyone, for supporting the program, and thank you for stepping in there, Kurt. I appreciate you.
No
but we're going to go ahead. I think I pushed it a little hard today, and I hated to end the show like that. But you know what? You're right. We have a commitment to getting this information out, but we want to make sure we can preserve our health in doing it.
Absolutely.
But let's hear from Dr. Eric Thomas. And listen, happy Good Friday to everybody. Happy Sabbath to those who apply for tomorrow. And happy Easter to everyone else. Thank you so very much for supporting the program. Let's take it out.
Here we go.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down from my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.